Alright, some halftime entertainment perhaps. There were some fourth down decisions that the Giants made that are getting some controversy, so I wanted to give my thoughts on them. The first of which, and yes, there are two, some people might be just talking about this one, but there's another one I want to bring up as well, but I think that they're both worth talking about. So this one, it's a 4th down and 8 at the Eagles' 40-yard line. So there's three decisions you can make here, right? You could punt, you could field goal, or you could go for it. Well, let's look at the trusty 4th down decision bot. What does that say? You know I love the 4th down decision bot here on this channel. You can follow it on Twitter if you'd like. But this is what the 4th down decision bot says. It says that it's a toss-up situation. Going for it and field goal both make some sense, with a punt being a 1 win percentage point drop if you decide to punt. Although worth noting, the going for it situation is a 10-point swing if you succeed versus if you do not succeed. Field goal attempt is still an 8-point swing in that spot, but has a slightly higher success rate, so that's why it's there. I think it's a debatable decision. I really do. I don't look at this as a bad decision to go for it. I think field goal would have made a lot of sense. I don't know the weather situation, so that's kind of the X factor, but Graham Gano is 40 for 60 in 50-plus yard field goals over his career, so maybe this is a situation where you let him kick the field goal. I would get that. It would be about 57 from here. He's also 8 for 9 on the year, so it's not like he can't kick that far anymore, but again, what's the weather? And plus, the reality is, you're the underdogs here. I think you know that going in. I think Brian Daboll is aware of what he has to do to beat a team like Philadelphia. He's going to have to play aggressive. So I will actually defend this decision and say I have no issue with it. Although, would I have kicked the field goal, gun to my head? I don't know. I would have done one of those two. I think I might have gone with the field goal here, assuming the weather isn't too bad. Daboll decides to go for it, and they are not able to convert here, which, listen, I mean, the offense obviously struggling. That's part of it, and maybe that's why you don't go for it. But at the same time, the flip side is, if your offense is struggling, would have maybe give your team an extra shot every now and then. That could help. Although I said there was two, let's talk about the other one. So this would be with 12 and a half minutes left in the second quarter now. It's a 4th down and 1 at their own 19-yard line, which again, people are going to say, your own 19-yard line, I mean, you can't be going for it now. But a couple things to note. For one, the analytics basically have it as a toss-up, where if you succeed, it raises your win percentage to 6. If you fail, it puts your win percentage down to 4, and you're currently at 5% if you punt. So that's kind of where you're at. But the success rate is a lot higher if you go for it than if you don't go for it. So for one thing, I think just analytics-wise, it makes sense to me to go for it, especially, run a quarterback sneak. That's a high percentage play. That's probably what I would do in this spot, but it also goes back to kind of a more general point of, if you went for it last time, why not go for it this time? If you have the mindset of, we are the underdog, we're going to come in and we're going to start going for it. If it's a toss-up, we're going for it. If that's what the analytics say, which I don't know, I don't think Brian Daboll looks at the analytics, but if if that's the mindset, you're going to play aggressive, you're going to try to make stuff happen, I think you should go for it here. If you were going to go for it last time, I don't get why you don't go for it here. If you want to, not go for it either time, I understand the logic there as well, but I just don't understand why you go for one but don't go for the other. That's where I get a little confused. But also, it would help if they, could stop Jalen Hurts in this first half, or they could, score in this first half. That might make things a little bit easier as well. So yeah, that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.